How do people deal with difficult events that change their lives? The death of a loved one, a loss of a job, serious illness, terrorist attacks, and other traumatic events. These are all examples of very challenging life experiences. Many people react to such circumstances with a flood of strong emotions and a sense of uncertainty. Yet people generally adapt well over time to life-changing situations and stressful conditions. What enables them to do so? It involves resilience, an ongoing process that requires time and effort and engages people in taking a number of steps. Resilience is the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress, such as family and relationship problems, serious health problems, or workplace and financial stressors. It means bouncing back from difficult experiences. Research has shown that resilience is ordinary, not extraordinary. People commonly demonstrate resilience. One example is the response of many Americans to the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks and individual efforts to rebuild their lives. Being resilient does not mean that a person doesn't experience difficulty or distress. Emotional pain and sadness are common in people who have suffered a major adversity or trauma in their lives. In fact, the road to resilience is likely to involve considerable emotional distress. Resilience is not a trait that people either have or do not have. It involves behaviors, thoughts, actions that can be learned and developed in anyone. A combination of factors contributes to resilience. Many studies show that the primary factor in resilience is having caring and supportive relationships within and outside the family. Relationships that create love and trust, provide role models, and offer encouragement and reassurance help bolster a person's resilience. Several additional factors are associated with resilience, including the capacity to make realistic plans and take steps to carry them out, a positive view of yourself and confidence in your strengths and abilities, skills in communication and problem solving, the capacity to manage strong feelings and impulses. All of these are factors that people can develop in themselves. Developing resilience is a personal journey. People do not react the same to trauma and stressful life events. An approach to building resilience that works for one person might not work for another. People use varying strategies. Some variation may reflect cultural differences. A person's culture might have an impact on how he or she communicates feelings and deals with adversity. For example, whether and how a person connects with significant others, including extended family members and community resources. Within growing cultural diversity, the public has a greater access to a number of different approaches to build resilience. Some or many of the ways to build resilience are going to be considered now. While we recognize the need in our clients to develop skills for resiliency, we can't forget that we are working with a population that has had trauma and difficulties, and this will affect us. So we too, as case managers, have to be considering what are our resiliency skills looking like these days, and take care of ourselves. There are many ways to build resilience. Making connections is a good one. Good relationships with close family, friends, and others are important. Some people find that being active in civic groups, faith-based organizations, or other local groups provide social support and can help with reclaiming hope. Assisting others in their time of need can also benefit the helper. Avoid seeing crises as insurmountable problems. You can't change the fact that highly stressful events happen, but you can change how you interpret and respond to these events. Try looking beyond the present to how future circumstances may be a little better. Note any subtle ways in which you might already feel somewhat better as you deal with difficult situations. Accept that change is a part of living. Certain goals may no longer be attainable as a result of adverse situations. Accept circumstances that cannot be changed and help focus on circumstances that you can alter. Move toward your goals. Develop some realistic goals. Do something regularly, even if it seems like a small accomplishment. That enables you to move towards your goals. Instead of focusing on tasks that seem unachievable, ask yourself, what's one thing I know I can accomplish today that helps me move in the direction I want to go? Take decisive action. Act on adverse situations as much as you can. Take decisive actions rather than detaching completely from problems and stresses and wishing they would go away. Look for opportunities for self-discovery. People often learn something about themselves and may find that they have grown in some respect as a result of their struggles with loss. Many people who have experienced tragedies and hardship have reported better relationships, greater sense of strength, and even when feeling vulnerable, they have an increased sense of self-worth and more developed spirituality and heightened appreciation for life. Nurture a positive view of yourself. Developing confidence in your ability to solve problems and trust your instincts helps rebuild resilience. Keep things in perspective. Even when facing very painful events, try to consider the stressful situation in a broader context and keep a long-term perspective. Avoid blowing the event out of proportion. Maintain a hopeful outlook. An optimistic outlook enables you to expect that good things will happen in your life. Try to visualize what you want rather than worrying about what you fear. Take care of yourself. Pay attention to your own needs and feelings and activities that you enjoy and find relaxing. Exercise regularly. Take care of yourself. Helps keep your mind and body primed to deal with situations that require resilience. Resilience involves maintaining flexibility and balance in your life as you deal with stressful circumstances and traumatic events. This happens in several ways, including letting yourself experience strong emotions and also realizing that you may need to avoid experiencing them at times in order to continue functioning. Stepping forward and taking action to deal with your problems and meet the demands of daily living, and also stepping back to rest and re-energize yourself. Spending time with loved ones to gain support and encouragement, and also nurturing yourself, relying on others and relying on yourself. To help summarize several of the main points that we've talked about, think of resilience as similar to taking a raft trip down a river. On a river, you may encounter rapids, turns, slow water, and shallows. As in life, the changes you experience affect you differently along the way. In traveling the river, it helps to have knowledge about it and past experience in dealing with it. Your journey should be guided by a plan, a strategy that you consider likely to work well for you. Perseverance and trust in your ability to work your way around boulders and other obstacles are important. You can gain courage and insight by successfully navigating your way through the white water. Trusted companions who accompany you on the journey can be especially helpful for dealing with rapids, upstream currents, and other difficult stretches in the river. You can climb out to rest along the riverside, but to get to the end of the journey, you need to get back in the raft and continue. Follow the link below to watch the YouTube video. Resilience means being able to adapt to life's misfortunes and setbacks. When something goes wrong, do you tend to bounce back or fall apart? When you have resilience, you harness inner strength that helps you rebound from a setback or a challenge, such as a job loss, an illness, a disaster, or the death of a loved one. If you lack resilience, you might dwell on problems, feel victimized, become overwhelmed, or turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse. Resilience won't make your problems go away, but resilience can give you the ability to see past them, find enjoyment in life, and better handle stress. If you aren't as resilient as you'd like to be, you can develop the skills to become more resilient. Adapt to adversity. Resilience is the ability to roll with the punches. When stress, adversity, or trauma strikes, you still experience anger, grief, and pain, but you're able to keep functioning, both physically and psychologically. However, resilience isn't about toughing it out, being stoic, or going it alone. In fact, being able to reach out to others for support is a key component of being resilient. Resilience can help protect you from various mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety. Resilience can help offset factors that increase the risk of mental health conditions, such as being bullied or a previous trauma. If you have an existing mental health condition, being resilient can improve your ability to cope. Some tips to improve your resilience: get connected. Build strong, positive relationships with loved ones and friends that can provide you with the needed support and acceptance in both good times and bad. Establish other important connections by volunteering and joining a faith or spiritual community. Make every day meaningful. Do give something that gives you a sense of accomplishment and purpose every day. Set goals to help you look towards the future with meaning. Learn from experience. Think of how you've coped with hardships in the past. Consider the skills and strategies that helped you through rough times. You might even write about past experiences in a journal to help you identify positive and negative behavior patterns and guide your future behavior. Remain hopeful. You can't change the past, but you can always look towards the future. Accepting and even anticipating changes makes it easier to adapt and view new challenges with less anxiety. Take care of yourself. Tend to your own needs and feelings. Participate in activities and hobbies you enjoy. Include physical activity in your daily life. Get plenty of sleep. Enjoy a healthy diet. Practice stress management and relaxation techniques such as yoga, meditation, guided imagery, deep breathing, or prayer. Be proactive. Don't ignore your problems. Instead, figure out what needs to be done, make a plan, and take action. Although it can take time to recover from a major setback, traumatic event, or loss, know that your situation can improve if you work at it.